Yeah, I thought I'd take a video. I'm in the home stretch here of harvesting this year's compost from our chicken compost generation system, and I thought before it's all gone I should take a quick video note of it and an assessment of how it's worked for us over the last year. So this is like, we're about a month away from this being a full year or a couple weeks since we got these beings as 2-day-old little puffs. And so far, so really good. I would say from this winter, in feeding these chickens, so this area is where, there's some other videos where I go into more detail on this. You can see it's a little more organized now. But basically, incoming food scraps, now this time of year, lawn clippings, weeds from the garden, etc., come in the highest bay. They work on it, and then we flip it, mix it with wood chips. They work on it for a while, and then flip it into the finishing bay where they work on it, and then we get to harvest it and take it out. This wheelbarrow represents, I didn't keep close count, but I'm gonna guess 35 or 40 wheelbarrows of this material. You can see the chickens are still doing one last work over before it leaves. And so I'm not gonna call this, perfect finished sifted compost, but hot damn, this is some high organic matter. I mean, it's just really broken down overall. So what I'm going to be doing is bringing this into the garden, putting this as top dressing on our beds, and then covering it with finished, aged, sifted compost to direct seed into. It's incredibly rich stuff. Tons of charcoal, maybe 100 gallons of charcoal went into here over the winter. And you can just see the whole composting process in action here. The chickens just continue to work it over. Periodically I come in with a hay fork and, pile it all back together, throw some grain into it. By the time we get into this final bay, we don't add any more grain because we don't want to have a huge weed seed load. And by then there's just the last little kind of scraps of seed here or there, but for the most part the chickens do an amazing job of just cleaning this stuff up and leaving a really nice black organic matter. Now of course you still see chunks of wood, 2-3 truckloads of wood chip went into this over the winter. And you can see, like, here's some charcoal hanging out, bigger chunks. But that stuff just breaks down over time in the soil. And a wood chip that's been in high heat compost for 2 months with chicken shit all over it is a very different thing than a wood chip that just comes straight off a chipper and into your garden. So I don't expect nitrogen robbing. I actually consider all those wood chips just to be sponges of moisture for the soil. I've probably got 3 more wheelbarrow loads in here, and then I'm going to call it good. The rest of this will leave so that we can use it to inoculate this year's compost. You can see them in there doing their work. Certainly aren't a big fan of onions, but the earthworms will deal with those, and then they'll eat the earthworms. Trophic levels just moves right on up. So you can look back through our other older videos to see this at different times, but I thought, 1 year in, it would be neat to see how this looks. So basically, we're feeding our chickens for free. I barter for organic grain from my friend's mill. But then we pick up organic veggie scraps from a local fermenter company, and then when we mow our lawn in the back, I bring all those clippings to the chickens. Wood chips are free. Hay, I guess the hay costs $2 a bale, so that's something. Let's say we put $20 into feeding these 25 chickens over the last year. And the yield from that is, 18 eggs a day, and now about 35 or 40 wheelbarrow loads of compost. So these chickens are absolutely amazing generators of food and future food. They're in the landscape in the right position for what their role is, what they want to do. And so they get to be exactly who they are, like the most who they are-ish. Scratch and eat and shit all day, run around, and then we get beautiful eggs, beautiful compost. And now I took another video you can look back at, just a last little closing thing. And now they're making more of themselves. So here's a mama with her wee lils. A couple days in, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4 tiny little exquisite beings. And they're eating grass clippings and dandelions and sprouted seed that we bartered for, and earthworms when she turns it over, and spring water with a little homemade apple cider vinegar. So they're off to a really good start, and they'll be part of the system soon enough. They'll be scratching in the muck. So there's the full circle in our incredibly noisy chicken compost generating operation. It's chaos. Chaos of black and red egg pumping machines. Aha! And the fight begins. This guy's such a jerk. Thanks for watching. Bye.